So why should you market your business on Pinterest? Well, essentially Pinterest is just another channel through which you can get in front of your potential customers so you can drive traffic to your website and generate sales. But there are a couple of unique things about Pinterest compared to other social media platforms. So I do want to really highlight those now and also give you some examples of how businesses are using Pinterest successfully. So the first thing to know is that Pinterest has over 200 million active monthly users. And if we compare that to other social media sites out there, we can see that Facebook's at the top here with 2 billion. Then we have YouTube, then we have Instagram, Twitter, etc. And down here is Pinterest, which comparatively you would think, oh, Pinterest is tiny, it's not even worth my time. But there's still 200 million active monthly users on Pinterest, so it is a massive audience. There's a massive amount of people there, and it's also not nearly as competitive as these other better well-known marketing channels. So that is a great reason to even be interested in Pinterest. Always where there's less competition is where you want to be. Now, in terms of the gender split on Pinterest, a lot of first impressions are, oh, Pinterest is only for women, but actually it's about a 60-40 split. And so even if you have a business that's more focused on males, then Pinterest can definitely be a good marketing channel for you as well. Now, to understand really how to use Pinterest as a business, I think it's first really important to understand how people actually use Pinterest. Why do they even use Pinterest when there are all these other social networks out there? And what I have here is a Pinterest profile of Lauren Alexander. This is just a random person. I don't know her, but I found her profile and I think it does represent very well why people would use Pinterest. So she has a couple of boards here, and boards are just a way to categorize her ideas. And inside these boards, you can see that they have pins. So these pins, all they are just images. And then what happens in these pins is that you can see the link back to the original blog post or site where there's more details on this. So in this example, we can see that Lauren here wants to create a dream house. And so she creates a board so she can categorize all those ideas together. And then inside there, when she searches Pinterest or is following certain things that she likes, then she just saves this to her board so that she has it there. And then she can always go back to the website to read more about it or to buy the product. So the thing about Pinterest and why people really use it is that they're here to plan, buy, or do things. And that is very, very different to, say, Facebook, where they're more there to just hang out with their friends and catch up with news. People on Pinterest are very proactive. They really want to bring their ideas to life, and they come to Pinterest in order to get the ideas, gather them together so that they can really visualize their ideas in a much better way. So why is that good for businesses? Well, one, you're dealing with very proactive people who want to see things happen in the world. That you could say is a lot better than Facebook, where people are very passive and they're just consuming content. And also in terms of, what stage they're at in the buying process here. Lauren, for example, for a dream house, she's very early on in the process of planning that idea. And again, that's something quite unique, and it's something that actually Pinterest really sell as their unique selling point for businesses. So reach people early, inspire them to act. And that is also very different to, say, if you go to type into Google as a user, they already know exactly what they want. Whereas on Pinterest, they don't know exactly what they want. They don't know what paint they want. So by having visual images of it here and catching their attention, they go, oh, that's what I want. They're going to add it to their board. And that makes it very likely, or at least more likely, that they're going to buy your paint or whatever in the future. So hopefully now you understand why people use Pinterest. It's really because they're looking for things to plan, buy, or do. Could be even travel, places they want to travel. ideas for digital marketing that they want to group together that they might be using for later. It could be weddings they're planning, whatever. They're really here. They're very proactive people, and they're very early on in the planning stage, which is a great place to catch them if you're a business. Now let's have a look at some actual businesses taking advantage of Pinterest then as a marketing channel and driving a lot of traffic and sales. And one of the biggest accounts on Pinterest is Moria Seal. It is an e-commerce store. You can see they've over 900,000 followers, and they're an e-commerce store that sells handmade gifts, fashion, home decor, etc. Now what you can see that they've done down here is created their own boards, so really grouping together their different products, etc. And you can see here, if we click in, that these are actually just images from their e-commerce store highlighting their products. And if we click in here and visit it, this will bring you back to the e-commerce checkout page. So I mean, it's pretty cool for an e-commerce store as well. They're just showing their products here. Someone like Lauren, if she liked those earrings, she could add them to her fashion board and maybe go ahead and buy them later on. So the key thing is, for a business, you're actually not creating a lot of new content. All you're doing is making your content available on Pinterest so that people can add it and create their ideas. So you can see here that this is not new content that the e-commerce store has created. These are just the images of their products that they've organized onto Pinterest into certain categories and added a little bit more information about them here as well. So that was an e-commerce store. I think it's a perfect fit for Pinterest. And let's have a look at another type of site now as well. So this is a blog. It's called Pinch of Yum. It's a food blog. And you can see what she's done here is just make sure that they have eye-catching visuals here. But essentially, it is just going to be recipes that are on their site. And if we click into this, we can see if people want to make this, then they come back to the website to read the full recipe here. So it's a great platform actually for getting people back to your site, because you're only giving them a visual preview of what you can help them do, and then they have to go back to your site to actually find out how to do it. And so it's a great way to just redirect traffic from Pinterest, funnel it back to your website. Now I do want to give you one other example, and this is actually geared towards males. So come back to this. So this is a Pinterest account called Beardaholic, obviously geared towards males. They are helping those who want to have a better beard, solve problems and solutions, guides for beard care, beard from a woman's perspective, and much more. So this is actually a website, and they're actually an e-commerce store as well that sell products for beards. So if we look at beard grooming tips, you can see that they have the images here. 6 reasons why you should be using beard oil, a quality beard oil, and then you can see the article here as well, which just brings it back to their website. So very good way to get traffic back to your site, just using Pinterest, and all you really need are those good visuals to catch people's attention. So one final thing that you can do if you're still not sure if Pinterest is going to be a good marketing channel for your business now or in the future is just come in and use the Pinterest search bar. So you can type in anything here, like say yoga, and actually you can see yoga for men, before and after, pants girl, flexibility, workout, weight loss. This search bar on Pinterest is actually something as well that makes it very unique compared to other social networks. Now remember, Pinterest is really designed to help people plan and do things and buy things. So that's why this search bar is extremely good. And they suggest a lot of the popular terms that people are searching for. So as a business, you can come in here and just look at what they are suggesting, and these are posts that you can definitely put up in order to get ranked in the Pinterest search engine here. And the cool thing is that if you rank in the search engine here on Pinterest, you can be, like in Google, getting traffic for that term back to your website for weeks, months, or even years. So that's another cool thing about Pinterest, is that it has that long-term potential as a marketing channel, because unlike Facebook, where it's filtered out after a day or two, you can be appearing in this Pinterest search engine for a long time, and that's another great reason to get in on Pinterest. So to wrap it up, why should you be using Pinterest as a marketing channel? Well, it's less competitive than others. It's also got very proactive people who want to get things done. You can get them early on in their decision-making process, and it also has an amazing search engine, which means that your content can really appear at the top of the rankings for weeks, months, or even years, which gives you a lot of long-term website traffic and sales. So hopefully that has convinced you that Pinterest is a great marketing channel, and at least clarifies for you why you should be using Pinterest. The first step to getting your business in front of 200 million people on Pinterest is to set up a Pinterest business account. So to do that, you want to go to business.pinterest.com and go ahead and join as a business. Now in here you can put in your business name or set up a Pinterest profile for your personal brand. Now I do want to say that if you do already have a personal Pinterest account and you want to use Pinterest as a personal brand, all you have to do instead of setting up a new profile is to go into your Pinterest profile, and then in settings you can convert it to a business profile. Now the reason that you want to set up a business profile either for a company or for a personal brand is because the business Pinterest profile will give you Pinterest analytics, and it'll also enable you to advertise directly on Pinterest if you want. So all you need to do is go ahead and fill out the details. And I'm just going to fill this out as my own name. And then I'm going to go ahead and click create an account. So just select whatever language and country that's suitable for you. And then we want to pick 3 things your audience cares about. So I can say for me, education, technology, and I can also say maybe down here memes. Okay, or inspirational quotes, maybe better. And now we've created our Pinterest business account. If we come into our profile here, we can see it is pretty bare at the moment. But that's really the first step to getting set up on Pinterest. So go ahead, go to pinterest.business.com and create your Pinterest account for your business. The number one thing that you can do to have success on Pinterest is to follow 5 top influencers in your niche. Now by doing this will really help you when you're creating your profile, filling it out, so you have somebody to model there, and also even in terms of the boards that you create and the content that you pin, you can really see what people in your niche are doing, what they're successfully doing, and that makes the process so much easier for you. So in order to find those top influencers in your niche and their accounts, what you can do is just type in your topic into the search bar here in Pinterest. And what you're going to see now here is all of the pins, so all of the images for that particular keyword. But what you might want to do is come across to people, and in here I can see then some of the top accounts for my niche here. So I can see the number of followers, 30,000 followers, 17,000 followers, 19,000 followers, etc. So all I need to do is open up all these accounts, and we can even look Digital Marketing Philippines. You can have a look around at some of these and maybe even just get a sense of which would be the best ones to follow. So all I need to do is have a look at their Pinterest account, read their profile quickly. Is this something that's going to be similar to what I want to do? If yes, you can just go ahead and follow their accounts, and you can see if they've got 30,000 followers, well, they must be doing something right. If we look here as well, Digital Marketing Publishing, we can have a quick look at their content. So this seems quite a broad amount of different fidget spinners, amazing hair. So maybe that's not exactly an account that I would want to follow. Digital marketing consultant, okay, 19,000 followers. Content marketing, social media marketing, Pinterest marketing. Okay, so I really like the way that he's laid out his profile here. Visual content, this is definitely a guy that I could model my Pinterest account on. So let's see, digital marketing, this looks like maybe an agency. Our revenues, brain game, logical puzzle. So again, maybe not the perfect type of account. In this video, you're going to learn how to SEO optimize your Pinterest account so that you can appear at the top of the Pinterest search engine. And I'm also going to cover some of the key steps you need to do to set up your account, like adding a profile image. So let us get started with the profile image. This is a key part of your account. And let me show you some of the profile images from the accounts that I'm following so we can look at the best practices. Now, there are only really two options for this image. Either one, it's going to be you as a personal brand or the face of your business, or two, it's going to be a company logo. So firstly, in terms of a personal brand, this is a good example here. It's a close shot of the face. It has a very kind of muted background. There's no distraction in the background. And I think it's instantly recognizable as that person. If we look across here at this profile, it could be better if that shot and the face was a lot closer to the camera, because it'd be easier to recognize. And also you can see the pose there. It's not as easy to recognize that person. And also the background is maybe a little bit distracting. So maybe a closer image of the face there, just front on, like this one here, would be better. Also down here, make sure if you're uploading an image that it's high quality. If you're putting your business on Pinterest and you want to attract customers, well then I think just a high quality image looks more professional and people will take you more seriously there. So that is for kind of a personal brand. For an actual company, really just your simple logo, you can do it. If we look at some other examples, I can show you some other examples here. And these are companies that I think do particularly well. So if we look at Nike on Pinterest, you can see it's just a very simple black background with the tick, instantly recognizable, and of course consistent across all of their social media profiles. Let's have a look at one other one. HubSpot, again, they always do a good job at this. Just a simple 2-color logo, very recognizable even when it's very small like it is here. Now to add the image, it's very simple. You can just come to your settings, come to your profile, change the picture, choose the photo, and I am just going to choose this from my desktop, which is the image that I use across all of my social media profiles. Now it's in here as well that I also want to optimize a couple of other things about my profile. So the first is the business name, and what we can do here is start to SEO optimize this profile name. We do want to be appearing at the top of the search results. So a key thing that we can do is start to put in some keywords here in our business name. Now I'll show you, if we look at some of these profiles, the top influencers, and you can have a look at the top influencers that you have followed. You can see that they say their name and then they say a couple of keywords for the niche that they're in. So Pinterest marketing, content creator. Now that helps them appear at the top of these search results when people are searching for people for those topics. As well, you can just see digital marketing, and their keyword is kind of in their business name, digital marketing consultant, Pinterest expert. So what I can do is just take that little bar and use it on my own profile. Now what you can do, even if you have a business name, is say put your business name here and then say some of the things that you do, whatever that is. So that could be your business name and then jewelry e-commerce store or something like that, whatever it is. Now next thing that we can do is just edit our username. You want to make this look professional. You may have been given a username with a random string of numbers like this. So what you can do is just adjust that slightly. You could put in the real, the official, or for a personal brand, sometimes you can just stick in your middle initial and that'll be available. Now I'm actually just going to see if my first and last name is available, and if not, I can change that afterwards. Now next up, we've got the About Us, About You section. And once again, it's a good idea to look at some top profiles. You can see Pinterest marketer again, those keywords from the title are repeated in here, and you can see some of the things they're an expert in. Essentially, that's your value proposition. Why should people be following this account? What are you going to help them to do? And so there are some of the options there. So say a little bit about, again, blogger, social media enthusiast, etc. You can see a community where marketers and entrepreneurs come together to drive traffic, increase conversion, boost social engagement rates, etc. So that's a good one there because it shows, why should I join this page or follow them? Because I'm joining a community, and also a community that wants to achieve these goals. So that's a pretty good bio that I can draw some ideas out of. Also down here, more like a personal brand, you can see top 50 social media marketing influencers, so some social proof. That's a good idea. How could I include that into my profile? As well here, where they're located, Pinterest for business. So some of those keywords, again, help you scale your blog traffic using Pinterest. So that's good. Very focused down on Pinterest and giving a clear value proposition for following this. If we look at HubSpot now, and I'm going to go ahead and follow these guys. You can see all-in-one marketing software that brings your marketing word of mouth together. We also like to have some fun. So a little bit of personality coming across there in the bio as well. So when you look at the other top accounts in your niche, you can really take the best from those, look at some of those ideas and put them together to create your own About You bio. Okay, so I filled out my About Me. I've said 200,000 can't be wrong. So that's something to try and catch their attention. A little bit of social proof. As how many students have taken my digital marketing courses? There's my keyword, digital marketing. follow me for actionable tips to grow your business. So that's a call to action. Follow my Pinterest accounts. And then why should they do that? They can get actionable tips to grow their business. Location then, I can just stick this in. Dublin, Ireland. And then go ahead and click Save Changes. And you might see this saying, oops, your username is already taken. So you can just shorten that down until you find a free username. Or change it around, maybe the other way. So if we come to the profile now, we can see that we've got our SEO optimized title, we've got our SEO optimized bio that includes our keywords, and we also have a great looking profile image. So that is how you SEO optimize your Pinterest account so you can appear at the top of the search results and upload a profile image that's going to look professional and want people to follow your account. A key part of setting up your Pinterest profile is to claim your website. And by doing this, you're going to get a backlink to your website. You're also going to appear higher in the Pinterest search results. And you also get access to these handy features. And you're also going to see your website on your Pinterest account. So what you want to do is come into your settings, come down to claim website. And now you just want to type in your domain name here, and then you can click the submit button. Once you do that, you're going to see two options here in order to verify or claim your website. And essentially what is happening here is you want to put a small piece of code on your website that sends a signal back to Pinterest, and then Pinterest knows, okay, well, if they have access to the back end of the site and they've added this code, well, then they must have ownership over the site. And then they can verify that. So there are two options here. And if you're not at all technical, what I would suggest you do is you can come to help.pinterest.com, type in and search for confirm your site. And then you're going to see a little bit of a better explanation of these two options here. And also you can get instructions for popular hosts. So that could be for Bluehost, GoDaddy. It could be for website builders like Shopify, Weebly, Wix, etc., and even WordPress. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how I verified this for my site. I picked the add HTML tag option. And so what I need to do is copy this, then come into the back end of my site. I have a WordPress site. And so I'm coming down to theme options. And then to appearance theme options, general settings, and in my theme here, I have an option to put in header code, and I just added that in there and pasted that in. And I'll just do that again, paste that in, click Save Changes. Now, as I said, even if you have a WordPress site, the layout might be slightly different depending on the theme that you have. So it's best to really look at the support guides either on Pinterest or for your website builder so you can get the exact step by step. Now once you've got that done, you just want to click next, and then what Pinterest are going to do is they're going to really check that you own that site, and they'll let you know by email in the next 24 hours. Now if we come to our profile page, we can also see that our website has been added to the top of our bio. So this is really great because it'll help people to click through and we can get more website traffic. So that is how you claim and verify ownership of your site. Not only does it help you rank higher in the Pinterest search engine, it also gives you access to a bunch of additional tools. And of course, you get the link to your website at the top of your profile. In this video, you're going to learn how to create boards and add pins to them on Pinterest. This is a key part of building your audience. It's the most important step. So I'm going to walk you through everything. So first thing, what is a board? What's the purpose of it? Well, I recommend that you look at some of the top influencer accounts in your niche. And for example, here for digital marketing, you can see this guy has about 20,000 followers. So this is the niche I'm working in. And if I just look at his profile and look at his boards and scroll down, I can see that essentially these boards act as different topics or subtopics. So you can see that the main topic is digital marketing, but obviously there's a lot of more specific topics within that, like digital marketing strategies, social media marketing, content marketing, influencer marketing, Pinterest marketing, blogging tips, etc. So really these boards help to organize content for those subtopics. Now let's look at a completely different niche. We can see this is an e-commerce store, Moria Seal. Again, a lot of followers, over 900,000. And you can see that they have used these boards to organize into categories again. So their own store, jewelry, bohemia, plants, get fancy art, home decor, hats, etc. And these boards are helpful to people because they might just be looking to get ideas about hats. So it's better for them to come into these boards and see all of the content organized here, and that helps them get those ideas much easier. So essentially these boards just organize the content pretty much. Now you can be quite creative with these boards, like gifts under 25, glasses and sunnies, gifts under 100, makeup and beauty, even something like knives. You think that is extremely niche, but there's over 1,000 pins on that. Scarves, over 1,000 pins. So people really do like to get specific on Pinterest because there's so much content there. If people can organize it for them in boards, they're going to want to follow that board to keep updated on those ideas. So this is how you add value on Pinterest, by either organizing your own content into different boards, and I'm going to show you as well, you can actually organize other people's content into these boards as well. Now finally, let's look at this food blog, Pinch of Yum. Same idea. Boards are used to organize content, recipe videos, appetizers, baking, bowls, breakfast and brunch, drinks, healthy meals, dessert, pizza, pasta, etc. So really looking at some top accounts in your niche is a great way to get ideas for even what boards to create and how to lay them out. Now I do want to give you a pretty cool tip as well, so your boards can appear at the top of the search engine. And what you want to do is actually what this guy's done here. He's done it pretty well. You can see that the way he's named his boards is actually very specific. So he's not just saying random things, he's saying digital marketing strategy. If I was to open that up, I can actually see it in the link there. So why is he named it that? Well, if I come into Pinterest and I search for digital marketing, so that's the main topic in my niche. Now what you can see underneath the search bar are these suggested search terms, and this works the exact same way as Google suggested search. They're going to put in other additional keywords here that are highly searched. So you know if these are appearing underneath here, these are highly searched terms. And so if I click on strategy, which is the #1 term after digital marketing, I can see that actually if I come across the boards, I can see this guy Ron Sellas appearing right at the top because he's named his board after the exact search term. So when you're creating your boards, you should really think about that as well. Create your boards really around those search terms so you can appear at the top of the search results and get more visibility for your boards. It's a really good tip to grow quickly. So now that we have a clear idea about what the boards are, how to name them, the next logical question is, what do you actually put in these boards? Well, the great news is that you don't have to only put your own content in. You might not have a ton of content, and so you're thinking, how do I build up an audience on Pinterest? Well, the great thing that you can do is you can pin other people's content into your boards. Now, this is still valuable for people, and people want to follow this, as you can see here, because essentially you're operating as an aggregator. You're helping organize content, filter it for people, and of course, they're going to want to follow that board if that's useful for them and saves them time than searching for it all together, or etc. So we can see if we look at these pins here and we look at the links at the bottom of these pins, you can see these are all coming from actually different websites. And so essentially what this guy has done is just created a board that's helpful for people, that organizes content underneath those search terms, and as a result 13,000 followers is not a bad result from that. So what I might want to do is not only add my own content, but look on Pinterest for other content that I could add to my boards and make it more valuable for the Pinterest users. So now that we understand what boards are, how to name them, and what to put and pin in the boards, let's actually go ahead and create a board for ourselves. And actually what we can do is we can pin something and create a board at the same time. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. Now again, what I'm going to do is look for my keyword. So digital marketing. Now what I want to find out is, well, what could I create a board on then? And if I look across, I have ideas, social media, money, infographics. Now infographics is pretty interesting. So what I might think of doing is maybe I can create a board about the best digital marketing infographics, because as you can see, there are a lot here and not all of them are maybe that good. So if I can create a board on the best ones, maybe that would appeal to people and they'd want to follow that board and account because it'd be useful to them. So what I can do then is go ahead, once I've decided on the kind of board name, I want to add some content to that board. I don't have maybe an infographic right now, so I'm just going to pin this piece of content to the board and I can create the board at the same time. So what I'm going to do is best digital marketing infographics, and you can make this a secret board if you want, so you don't have, it doesn't have to be public. You can hide it, add a load of content and then publish it later, but I think it's okay to just go ahead and publish it straight away. And I'm going to go ahead and click create. So now I can see that the pin has been created, so and the board has been created. So if I come to my profile, I can come to the board and I can see that the best digital marketing infographics has been added there. And it might take a little bit of time just to load up, but the pin will show up there eventually as well. Now what I can also do, as well as pinning other people's content and aggregating content like that that's helpful for people, I can also create my own content. And so what I can do is maybe create a pin and take it from the web, and I can actually take content from my own site and pin it in here. So I'm just going to take an article from my blog, I'm going to paste it in here. When I click next, I'm going to see all of the images on that page that I can put into a show as the image on Pinterest. So I'll just take this one here. Now I could put it under the best digital marketing infographics, or I can create a new board, which I might do, and it's more something like marketing fundamentals. So people who just really want to understand the fundamentals of marketing, and I can create a board about that. And so I can see it now, and what I should have now is two boards. If I go to my profile, what I've got now is two pins and two different boards there. Now what I can do to improve these even further is I can actually go ahead and add a description to these boards. And if you're stuck for that as well, once again, what you can do is maybe just look at some top competitors and see how they are, what type of descriptions that they are using. So you can see this board is a collection of great tips and ideas for somebody, learn how to do X, Y, Z. And so you can take you can even copy this, paste it in there, but obviously edit it to the specific board. So this board is the collection of the best digital marketing infographics on Pinterest, and you can include that in there. Now the reason you want to do that is that gives people another incentive for them to follow the board, and you can also say what this board is about to make it clear to Pinterest as well. So I could maybe put this as technology or other, and then you can also add collaborators for these boards as well if you've got other team members that you want to help work on. Now, as well as adding a description to your boards, what you can actually do is add a description to any content that you've pinned yourself as well. So again, telling people a little bit about why they should click through and what this post is about. And again, if we look at some examples here, you can start to get a very good sense of what are the type of descriptions that people put in here, and you can look at the best ones there and take some examples. It's going to be slightly different. So to recap then, in this video you've learned how to create boards, how to name those boards so that you can appear at the top of the search engine. You learned how to add content to those boards using other people's content, so you can build a valuable resource for your Pinterest followers, or by adding your own content as well, and by adding descriptions to those boards and those pins so that they give that incentive people to click through, and also that'll help you appear higher in the search engine on Pinterest as well. So what I would recommend you do is take a little bit of time, maybe go ahead and create 3 boards, put about 5 pins in each, and that is really going to set the foundation of content for your Pinterest account. In this video, you're going to learn a very simple strategy to get 1,200 targeted Pinterest followers in just 30 days. So the first thing that you want to do is come up to the Pinterest search bar and type in your keyword, really the niche that you are in. Now what you want to do then is come across to people, and in here you're going to find accounts on Pinterest in your niche, and you're really looking for those people who have quite a lot of followers. Now you can go through these accounts, and really you want to come in and identify an account that is very similar or has a very similar audience to the audience that you were trying to capture the attention of on Pinterest. Now once you've found that account, you can come in and look at their followers for the total accounts, or you can actually do this as well on individual boards. So if we come into this board, we can even just target the people in this individual board. So what I can do then is start to follow some of these people. You can see I've been doing a little bit of it already. And what is going to happen is when we follow these people, they are going to get a little notification on their account. And it will say Dara Walsh or whatever your account name has followed you. They'll see that notification. A good percentage of them, maybe 20 or 30%, will click through and follow you back if you've got your profile laid out that explains in your bio the value you're offering on Pinterest, and they can see the board set up with some of the pins in them. So roughly 20% of the people are going to follow you back. And so what I recommend you do is you follow 200 people per day. That's really the maximum that Pinterest will allow you before they start to maybe see your account as spammy. So don't go over about 200 a day. But if we do the maths on that, 200 people a day that we follow, we multiply that by 30 days, that's 6,000. Now 20% on the low end are going to follow us back, so multiply by 20. So that's 1,200 people there. And that's really the simple strategy to get 1,200 targeted Pinterest followers in just 30 days. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick tip so you can easily pin content from around the internet in just one click. So before I show you how to do this, I just want to remind you what the normal process is. So you can pin content to your boards from Pinterest itself in the search engine here, or you can also go and pin stuff from around the web. And if you want to do that, you click this option from around the web. You have to say get the URL of the article you want to pin or image you want to pin, paste that in, and then you select the image here that you want to pin and appear as, and then you add it to the board. So you can see it's a little bit of a manual process. You have to copy and paste that URL in the first place. So to speed up the process, a great tool to use that's absolutely free is this Pinterest browser button from Chrome. Now, this does only work on the Google Chrome browser. So if you don't have Google Chrome, you can just download that for free. Just type in download Google Chrome to any browser. And then you just want to click get browser button. And you can just type this into Google as well. And I will put this link in the description of the video so you can click right through. Then you just want to click add extension. And now I'll show you really how this speeds up the process. So say you're browsing online, you're catching up with some news from your industry, and now you can really have this browser extension button here. And so if you're reading an article like this, just as you do for your own personal keep yourself updated, then you might think, hang on, that'd be great if I just added that into my Pinterest account, and so my followers can benefit from it as well. So what you do is then click the icon, and I might need to reload the page here. And then we can select the image. So we don't need to type in that URL manually. And then we can just select the board that we want to add it to. And then we can go ahead and see it now. So you can see it's a lot less friction to add stuff to your Pinterest account. And I think the key thing as well, the key benefit, is that just as you're reading articles or news and you want to add them to a board, it's very easier to do rather than remembering to go into your Pinterest account, open it up, click that button, add to pin, paste the URL in. So it just makes it a lot easier to add content quickly to your Pinterest account. Now here's another tip that really takes this tool to the next level, and that is to get your teammates or even freelancers to install this tool as well for you. And what you can do then is, when you've created a board, you can add them as a collaborator. Just type in their email there and send them the invite. Tell them to download this extension as well, and then they can just start pinning content as well automatically to that account. So not only does it make it easier for you to add content, but if you just tell your teammates or even instruct a freelancer to do this for you, they can very quickly add a lot of content to your Pinterest account, and that will help you really grow your following much, much faster. So that is how you pin content to Pinterest in just one click. You can go ahead and get the browser extension in Chrome. I'll also put the link in the description. In this video, you're going to learn how to make custom graphics from Pinterest so that you can get even more clicks through to your website. Now you can see that I do have a graphic for this pin here, and this was taken directly off my blog post on my website. However, when I created this blog post, I didn't have Pinterest specifically in mind as a marketing channel, and I didn't create this image for Pinterest. I just created it for my blog post. And so you might think that's okay, but actually if we go at the search bar and we look for create a website, which would be essentially competitor pins for this article, because that's about creating a website, you can see that people have these really cool visual graphics like how to create a website, how to create your own website. Essentially these are like the thumbnails on a YouTube video. This is what gets the clicks. Because Pinterest is such a visual platform, it can be necessary, or you can get better results really, if you create these custom graphics. So you can see that that is likely to get a lot more click-throughs than the one that I have put here, which doesn't really communicate visually what the post is about. And you can see it's slightly smaller as well. It's not the kind of dimensions that are suited to Pinterest. So how do you make your own graphics like this for free? Well, you can do it in a tool called canva.com. It's absolutely free to sign up for and use. And the really cool thing about Canva is once you sign up and create an account, you can come to create a design, and then you're going to see this option for a Pinterest graphic, which gives you a template for the exact dimensions that you can use for Pinterest. So I'm going to go in here and design a better image for that post so I can get more traffic to my site. So the cool thing is about Canva that there are all these templates down here in the sidebar that are really easy to manipulate and use. So here's one I think is pretty cool. It's got that nice white border around the outside, and if I want to change the text, I can just say the effortless way to set up website in 5 steps. Now the cool thing is as well, down at the bottom in this image, I can just put in my website, and this is good for 2 reasons. One, it just communicates to people, that they should come to my website, see all the details here. That gets them to click through, and also no one can reuse this image because it's got my details there as well. Now I will want to change the background image because that's not really relevant to what I'm doing, so I can just select that and then click delete. And what you can do is put in your own backgrounds, different colors there, But what I might do is use an image that I've uploaded to have a really bright background. So you can see now it's really popping off the page. Now I do want to communicate a little bit more visually what this post is about. And the cool thing about Canva is they have a load of icons in here, which I can use. Some are paid, and that's how Canva make their money. Some of these elements are paid, but a lot of them you can use for free. So what I can do is just drag and drop this in, make this pretty big so it catches people's attention. You can see that Canva really helps you center things, make it look really good. And I don't think that looks too bad. And now I'm going to really use this and go ahead and download. So you can see that I think it took me less than a minute to do, and it looks pretty good. And actually, what I might do is just decided that I'm actually going to change the text to black. So this is the cool thing as well. If you want to change your mind about how to use the text, it's no big deal. You can do multiple versions. It's not going to cost you anything. So now I think that looks better. All black is really popping off the page more. And you can even move some of these elements around as well. So I might just move this up slightly. So there we go. I think that's pretty cool now. So I'm going to press download. And then what we're going to do is upload this to Pinterest. So now I have got my design. What I want to do is come back to Pinterest and my profile. And what I can do is create a pin from my device. I can upload the image. So set up a website. 5 steps. Now I can take that URL again and just pop that in. And then select the page that I want to put it at. And I think that looks a lot better. Looking at it again now, maybe I could edit it slightly just to make it a little bit better. But definitely you can see in even the pins that I've done here, this pops out, I think, 10 times more than the original one here. So you can really see the value of creating these custom graphics. They will help you get a lot more attention, a lot more click-throughs, a lot more traffic, and ultimately a lot more sales. And the coolest thing is that you can do it absolutely for free on Canva and use the templates that they have there.